Welcome to the Love and Victory Show with Val, where we will bring you candid conversation. In each conversation, we will talk about real life ups and downs while tackling unresolved matters. We will also unmask issues and truly speak straightforward and candid about our needs and brokenness, while allowing ourselves to exhale so that we can become victorious. This is a place where you can be open to the possibilities of living life in abundance while gaining tools to become bold and complete. So let's get to it. All right. We made it. We're just 7 minutes behind, but we never late. We always on time. We always
You know how they say in the Princess Diary, a queen is never late? Everyone else is simply early.
Yes. I love you. Hey, wait, clean that up. All righty then. It's time to get this party started.
Well, today's show is more to it. There's more to it. And we have two that are here today that can bring the candidness to the conversation. And so we're gonna.
There is more to it.
There's more to it.
It's more to them.
Yes. Oh, definitely. So if you would, ladies, I want to take each one of you one at a time. If you would, Miss Jordan just won't show it all of her beauty today.
She's like, you see me?
So Jordan, I'm gonna take you first, if you would. That's your camera right there. Look at the camera and tell the people about yourself. Who are you? And what do you represent?
Oh my God.
Come for.
I mean, shoot, technically,
Who
the
are
Royal
you?
House of Finland.
So first, give them your name and.
My name is Jordan.
Mhm.
What's that last name? Oh, girl, I'll tear that
No,
up.
that's fair. It's Gripenwaldt. There's
that name even says right.
Gripenwaldt.
Gripenwaldt.
Yeah.
It's a Swedish version of a German name.
I was going to say it
Yeah.
sounds like it have a Dutch touch to it.
So it's Gripenwaldt in German, and it means griffin wood, like the creature, the griffin. Fun fact.
Okay. Okay.
And there's no reason for there to be a D and a T. So,
So what is this Finland thing you told? What is it?
So my dad's side of the family, like the Swedes and the Finns and Norway and Russia, were all kind of intermixed, intertwined a whole bunch. And so we're like Swedish, but via the Royal House of Finland or whatever, my family years ago was knighted. Essentially, they were given lands and titles, and so that's still in effect today. And we're like, it's kind of like the equivalent of a baron, like a baroncy, like you know how they're like dukes, baron, that kind of thing. It's different in like over
your
here.
family is in that category.
Yeah, so we have there's the Finnish House of Nobles. It's called Rittenhouse, and they have they keep really detailed lineages, and so every year they send out essentially a survey, be like, hey, have you gotten married, had any kids, what's going on, and they keep it, and then they send out your, you fill it out, send it out, and then
Interesting.
So I'm gonna get your autograph before you leave.
Is that on your mom or your daddy's side?
that's my dad's side.
Your daddy's side.
Yeah.
Okay.
You be okay. So you
What?
Because
You asked me to introduce them.
okay, I'm not gonna say that.
That's what I do.
Okay, so then you.
So they know a little bit about her now.
That's good. You
Yeah.
real good.
You have anything?
There is more to
There's more to
her.
Yeah. Yes, there's more to her.
Okay.
Now, where you get your blackness from? Right?
We have to go.
I see there's some blackness within you. Yeah.
So I am
That's why Brother Carter is here.
biracial. My mother is black.
Okay.
And clearly the Swede won out. But
Did you lose any of your Swedish heritage once
no.
the blackness came in?
No.
Oh.
They didn't hold it against me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
We're still there.
Okay, y'all.
It was a reasonable question.
That was a great question.
Yeah.
Brother Carter is always gonna get to the point. All right, I told y'all.
So you have anything else you want to share with the
not
people?
now. We gotta get to the show. That was perfect. We gotta move this thing on down. Introduce the other lady.
So Miss Molly. Miss Molly, I want you to look at the camera, show your beautiful teeth to the people, and then tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them your name and what you represent.
All right. So I am Molly Gilmore. I just realized that camera zoomed in on me.
Yeah.
I'm Molly Gilmore, and if I were to say like what I represent, fun, energy, color, inclusivity, all the great things.
That's good.
I don't have any title, any royalty. However, I am one of my ancestors, because I was sharing with y'all that I'm part of my my heritage is I'm Native, and I am a registered member of the Chickasaw Nation. And I am a descendant.
Wait.
Of
the who nation?
Chickasaw. Yeah, Chickasaw.
Where the hell is Chickasaw in?
Chickasaw. Well, now
we don't get to this show.
Now they're in southern Oklahoma.
Okay.
But that's not where they were supposed to be.
That's like an Indian thing.
Yeah, Native Americans.
Okay. Y'all see what I'm bearing?
Chickasaw. All right.
Chickasaw.
All right.
And I'm descended from Chief McIntosh, but that's not necessarily a good thing because he's responsible for making treaties with the white people to get our people removed. I got executed for treason.
When I tell you
really
there
cool.
is more to
That's
them, there is more to them
even
in this conversation. So now,
we finished with the introduction, or we have to introduce?
Yeah, we got to keep it going. It's time for it. Come on.
So we are going to do our In the Loop segment. Keep you guys in the loop on everything LV with Val and LVERINC has going on. So we're going to get started with that. Of course, we have our LV with Val on the road event coming up April 24th. You can scan the QR code there on the screen, and that will scan. That is where you can get some tickets to our first live event with audience interaction. We're going to have special guests there on the show, and it's going to be emceed by Yielded. Stephanie's going to be there. Tiara's going to be there. We're going to be there. We're going to be killing it. It's going to be your face. That's right. And then, as you guys know, we have our nonprofit L&V Enterprise Resources, Inc. We have a bowling and brunch event coming up. Mark your calendars for June 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. You can scan there to get your tickets for that event. It's going to be so super awesome. We're going to have food. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have a competition.
And I'm coming for Brother Carter.
Brother Carter is the one to beat.
Yes. We're coming for him.
We're coming for him.
Yes. And then, of course, you are listening to LV with Val Radio. We have tons of other shows here on the station, including VK Career Conversation every first Monday of every month at 8 a.m. That is with Dr. Pinkston and Dave Smith. We also have Tasteful and Toxic every Wednesday at 8 a.m. And that's Brother Carter is the host of that show. And then we have Empower Hour with Coach Anna. That's on Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m.
Come get empowered.
We have Spanish and English episodes for Empower Hour. And then we have my show with my mom called Journeys and Ambitions. That's every Friday at 11 a.m. Tune in. That one's super duper fun. And then if you guys are interested in advertising with us on LV with Val Radio or on the Love and Victory Show with Val, be sure to email me at info@lvwithval, or you can call us at 832-913-1359.
Woo! Yes, there's a lot going on. I'm so excited. Now we got to get.
Man, did y'all like that beat though? That beat was hit, man.
Y'all
every time.
like we were doing over in here. Okay, it's time for the acronym. And then we're going to get this show.
Yes.
Crack-a-lagging.
The acronym is going to set us up for the show, give us something to go off of. So today's episode is There's More to It. There's more to me. Don't judge a book by
More
its
to
cover.
you, me,
So
and everyone
everybody,
else.
exactly. We're going to be talking about identity. So the word of the day is judge. J is for jovial, cheerful, friendly, and sociable. U is for unique, one of a kind, distinctive and different from others. D is for dynamic, energetic, lively, and capable of positive change. G is for genuine, authentic, and sincere in thoughts, feelings, and actions. E is for enlightened, having deep knowledge or understanding.
All right, all right.
Ooh, Lord.
And that looked like you just spoke of everyone on the set today.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everyone.
That acronym just reflects everything that's on the show today.
Mhm.
Yes.
Don't judge
All
me.
right.
Don't judge me because sometimes I go in and out of
Yeah.
toxicity. What is
Toxicity.
Well,
Toxicity.
I'm joining his book too. Your dictionary, baby. You see how she tried to come from it?
We should
really get that dictionary going.
So, there is more to me.
Is it?
It really is, but it's
Okay.
not about me today.
Okay.
I'm just joining in the conversation.
Okay. Well, you the initiator of the conversation.
Okay, then I want to just throw this question out there. And anyone on this show, you guys know how we do. We just kind of start with the question and then we go with the conversation. So anyone can take it. Do you think people misjudge you? And why? And why?
and why?
And why? I want to
Jump right
ask.
up.
I think I kind of want to just throw this over here to Jordan. Because I can imagine you sitting in the room.
Mhm.
Because you can,
Mhm.
you know, where I came from.
Yeah.
In my
Mhm.
day, you can pass.
Yes.
So you're sitting in the room
Mhm.
with whoever,
Mhm.
and they don't
Mhm.
even know. They're having conversations. They're saying things that may not be. They think that you're with this group,
Mm-hmm.
but they're saying things about that group.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a part of that group too.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, or have you ever experienced that?
That's definitely, I've experienced that all my life because obviously, I look the way I look.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when I was born, I was blonde. So it was even worse. Like it was, yeah.
Oh wow. You
but-
got tired of your blonde hair and you dyed it?
No, this just happens. My dad was born blonde and then his hair turned black
Oh.
as he aged. And my brother, it
Yeah, you
happened to
got
me
with your
too.
mom.
That's true. Her genes were finally like,
Fun fact. You love us, right?
oh, absolutely.
Okay,
We're besties. Listen.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that is something that I've experienced a lot
Yeah.
because I grew up in Orange County, California.
Oh.
So there is not a
Mhm.
large Black population.
Oh no, not at all.
No, not at all.
Oh, right.
Like at all.
Mhm.
And so there were plenty of times where people would just assume,
Mhm.
we're all white people here. We all
Mhm.
think the same thing. We're all
Yeah.
Yeah.
feeling a certain way about certain people.
Yes. We'll just say to certain people.
Black people.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
And they had one right in the room.
and they did and
in
they
the
did allow it.
conversation.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's happened. It's happened several times, and it was, it's a lot more like nice, like more politely done.
Mhm.
Kind of where I'm from, but I worked a couple summers in Colorado with a lot of people who are Southern,
Mhm.
and so the things they were saying
Yeah.
that
They didn't hide it.
Well, how
Oh
long,
my God,
how long
no.
did it take before you got up the nerves to say something? about it?
day one, I don't
Really?
play about it. Oh,
Okay.
no,
Did you not hear?
Yeah.
Her mother.
Right.
exactly.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you
My
something.
mother.
Her mother was African. Black.
I mean, because there's a
But
lot
no.
of people in her shoes, and I got a feeling that they would, if they're in an all white segment,
Mhm.
and
But I think.
wait, let me finish my
Okay,
thought,
Brother
honey.
Carter. Okay, thank you, baby.
And
I'm
then
gonna
and people start speaking negatively of
Mhm.
Black people. I find that they can be fearful about speaking up about their Blackness, should I say?
Well, so I think for me, I've always had white privilege.
Mhm.
I've, I've never had to experience life the way that other Black women do
Mhm.
because it's people, like I said,
Yeah.
people perceive
assume.
me as white, and
Mhm.
so I've never had to experience like being afraid to say something like that.
Mhm.
Like I'm not worried about my physical safety necessarily. I mean,
Yeah.
in certain cases,
Yes,
that's actually not true. But like growing up where I did,
Yes.
Mhm.
I didn't have that, and my mom, like, weirdly, I was raised a lot more in touch with my mom's side. She's a
Mhm.
huge extended family, and so she, like, I grew up identifying as Black.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
And because like my family and
But it's a natural instinct for you.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And so like, and my mom is like the best person alive, and
Mhm.
I'm very protective of her.
All right.
And so I think
Praise the Lord.
she's wonderful. Hi, Mom.
Mhm.
But,
What's her name?
Angie.
Angie?
Angela.
Oh, okay. Hey, Miss Angie. I hope she's on the show listening.
I sent her the link, but
Yeah.
it's much earlier in California right now.
She'll probably catch the
Oh,
replay.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I've always been very like outspoken, and I'm like, I don't want you to feel, first of all, I don't want you to feel comfortable saying things like that in front of
Right.
anybody.
Right.
But I especially don't want you to think that I'm on your side.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah.
That
So-
is good.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, because and where I was going with that, Brother Carter, was is that she said something that was like her mother,
Mhm.
and not taking anything from African American father or a black father,
Yeah.
but her mother,
Right.
the one she
Right,
laid
right.
in
Mhm.
was African American. So therefore black. So
It'd be a
therefore,
little easier if it was the daddy that allowed it to be said without speaking up about
but
it.
now I don't know if it's easier, but this is who she grew inside of.
Mhm.
And so she understood without even knowing what she was understanding, that this is who I am.
Mhm.
And so she was,
I get it.
okay, that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to turn this over. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So how much more is it to Molly then?
Well, it's more.
There's so much more.
It's so much more, but I'm going to leave this here over here on Jordan. I'm coming back to you, Jordan. Now, Molly. Molly, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, I'm ready for
That
it.
same question.
Same question.
Do people misjudge you?
Yes.
And why?
And why? Well, the why of it, I think, could be very complicated, because people have their own expectations of how they of who other people are,
Mm-hmm.
and they adjust their behavior based on their interpretation of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So when they meet someone like me,
Mhm.
a lot of people think that I am ethnically ambiguous.
Mhm.
Like, I've gotten like, you must be Puerto Rican, you must be Hawaiian, you must be
Anything
Creole,
other than-
black.
yeah.
Yeah. Most people do not guess that I am half Asian and then Native and white.
Mm-hmm.
So I get
You
get
get
a
all
lot
of
of
that.
misinterpretation, and it's very interesting to see how people respond to me or interact with me based on what they think that I am.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because I've had people think that I'm just plain white.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll interact with me on that level. I've had people think that I am black, and so they'll interact. So I've been misjudged
So in
on
other
the basis
words,
of race or heritage. Like,
Mhm.
so a lot of times, when I get out of that is that, first of all, stop judging people.
Mhm.
Get to know a person. Take the mask based off of your own view of who you think that person is, or who they should be, based off of your small mind, and just get to know the person. So with that being said,
Well, I got a question before
Okay,
you
go
move
ahead,
forward.
brother. Go
I
ahead.
got to get with Molly now.
all right, I'm ready for it.
He coming.
So-
He coming.
So when you're in the midst of your all white friends, do you change the way you speak?
Code switching.
Is that different when you're with your white friends versus your black friends, or you try to maintain who you are at all
Yeah,
times?
I think so. I've always been the racial minority in whatever group I've been in.
Okay.
So although I think I do tailor my personality, it's more so based on like the energy of the environment rather than like the racial dynamics of it. Because I grew up in Native communities when I was, when we were little, we lived on reservations and in the Indian Nation capitals. So like there were always people around me who were Native. And then I went to college and everyone around me was white. And then I went to law school in New Orleans and all of my friends were black. So it's like, and then I got here in Houston and everybody's everything. So for me personally, just because I've never been in a community where everybody is like me.
Okay.
Like even my family, right?
Yeah.
Like my mom's side of the family, they're all Asian. So I'm like, I look around, I'm like, I don't look like any of these people. And then on my dad's side, they're white natives. I'm like, don't look like any of. So I've never. So for me, I don't think I've ever had to like adjust that dynamic. Based on my race, but
Based on
again,
your
more so on the energy.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw this out, and I'm glad that you pulled that out in this conversation. How do you feel when and it's just for both of you all, how do you feel when you don't know where your community is, when there is so few people that are just like you? Or do you feel anything? You said there's never been anybody around that is like you. Where then when I think of, oh God, Jordan over here, Jordan may not feel that way because she's always felt her community. Give me something.
Well, I would say I would probably differ from her in that respect because I feel like my, ethnic makeup is fair, like it's more commonplace. Like, so it would be easier to find more of me than it would be to find more of you, I feel. And yeah, I don't know. I always had a really strong sense of self ever since I was little. And so I really identified with like my mom's side, and just that's the community I was raised in familially. But it wasn't until like late high school that I realized like, oh, but I was raised in a majority white area. And so my socialization was that. And I've always, been very like comfortable in white spaces because that's, as I realized, like, oh, that's exactly how I was raised, essentially.
That's the environment you're in.
Yeah.
That's natural.
That's natural.
Yeah.
For you.
Can you remind me of the question? I was like so absorbed in listening. But it was about like, how does that feel? Do I feel like I have community?
Where is your community? How do you feel where you fit? Where is your community?
Yeah.
Struggling with trying to find.
Yeah, I do think it is a struggle, and it's interesting because I've talked to my nephew who my sister's son, and his father is more native, so he's like even more of like an ethnic melting pot, or looks more like an ethnic melting pot than I do. And so he and I talk about kind of that struggle of feeling like you don't necessarily fit in with, any of these groups. For me particularly, I remember when I was in law school, I joined the like Asian and Pacific Islander law student group. And I went there and I'm like sitting and we're hanging out, we're talking, I'm like, yes. And then it gets to the end and I mentioned offhand that my mom's Filipino, and one of the girls there, she's like, oh, that's why you're here. I don't remember like how, I think I've told you that story. I just remember how deflating that was to feel like, okay, like these are my people, but because of how I look, they don't necessarily see it that way.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure you grew up with that pretty much all your life.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get a sense of who you are in the midst of going through that? That sound traumatizing for a child growing up in an environment where you don't have a certain particular identity.
Yeah. Well, I will say that, but my family, the identity that I think I have then that's stronger is through my direct family.
That's usually where
yeah. So I mean, my mom, she was a Filipino woman. We lived in Arkansas. She was the only Asian woman in Arkansas? Arkansas, in Fort Smith, Arkansas. She was the only Asian. Yes. We would live on the native reservations, and the kids would come over and they'd be like, we know
wait. Okay.
She Asian?
Back up.
Wait.
But she live on a native reservation.
I know. It's all not
and her daddy is white.
No. We're not going to just bypass that.
What?
In Fort Smith,
Arkansas.
That is, you blink and you're through it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So.
And that's like redneck country or something?
Yeah. Oh, why do you think I'm drinking this?
I'm just saying.
Your first clue.
My first clue. So it's so fun. I had no idea, but this is so good.
Did you have to fight a lot when you were growing up?
No.
Look at me. She like a fighter.
But anyway, she was a pass.
Look at me.
I'm a runner.
She was a pass. But I want to go over here.
Jordan, did you have to fight?
I've never fought a day in my life.
Really? But I got to come over here to this one here. Have you guys
throw this away? I want to have real conversation.
No, but it's what I have to say here.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever used your biracial background
For your benefit?
to your benefit or to your or has it been used to your disadvantage?
In other words, she said, did you use your whiteness as
to get where you got to go?
Right. I mean, I think when I was younger, like the answer obviously is yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm
It
glad
was
you're being
intentionally as a child.
Because if
No.
I could, I'd be white as hell on your ass.
Listen. So there are
I'd
definitely.
turn white as I could. Yeah.
Okay, I will say.
I'm sorry, y'all love him for this kind of.
No, you say that made me remember the time because like as a kid, again, like I thought of myself as a black child. So
Mhm.
like obviously I was running around using my white privilege, being perceived that way,
Right.
skating through life,
Right.
Mhm.
unintentional. Right.
Mhm.
And then as I got older, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, that
This is what's
hello.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, quit disrespecting Anna.
Right.
Your mama. What's her name? Anna,
Angie.
right? Angie, yeah.
But and so like I wouldn't say like I necessarily, once I went through that realization, like use it to my advantage. But there was one time that I leaned so far into it because I was at the airport
Mhm.
and I had bought this is the stupidest thing I've ever done, but I had bought an 80-pound bag of coffee and I was flying back home
Oh, no.
and it was
You're a smuggler.
I know it was sorry. It was 40 pounds. It was
Yeah.
$80.
Yeah.
It was very expensive. I was not about to throw it away.
Mhm.
And it was in a very nondescript package.
Mhm.
And in me and my infinite wisdom to keep it
Mhm.
from spilling, I had put 2 bags over it and then
Yeah.
wrapped it
Wrap
with
it.
tape.
Oh, girl,
Yeah.
they bust that wide open.
Oh, and I'm thinking, I don't want this to spill.
I'm
This is great.
white.
I'm white. It did not even occur to me. It didn't occur to me. So I'm going through security and I get pulled right aside. They're pulling this out. Like, what is this? And I'm like, it's coffee. Like it's it's $80. It's $80 worth of coffee. So
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at this package and I'm
After
like,
you look at it,
oh
you-
no. Oh no, because I'm also very square. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. She don't do drugs.
I don't do drugs. So I
Yeah,
had
we're on the
these-
Love and Victory show. We smoke, we drink.
No.
Yeah, I'm only kidding. But anyway.
He thought we did it before. No. But like it didn't even occur to me until that moment when I like saw what it looked like and I was like, oh my God. So
Mhm.
I proceeded.
See, you said it just like that. Oh my God.
I turned into the most golly gosh white person you've ever seen in your life. Oh my goodness. My voice shot up 7 octaves.
Okay, for the people in the back of the room, for our listeners, I need you. And could you please turn into you're at
Mhm.
TSA.
Mhm.
They're checking your bag.
Yeah.
Can you please take us through that? Paint that picture. Come on, girl.
I mean, again, so like my bag's
We
going
got
through.
time. We got time for this.
I'm like, oh gosh, TSA is taking a while. The free as a bird, not thinking about anything.
Okay, fast forward.
They
to
pull it over,
and
and I'm like, oh. And the lady is like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, so it's coffee."
oh, I haven't heard this one. Keep it on set. Keep going.
Was it Starbucks?
No, it was
Yeah.
very expensive. Like it's
It was Colombian
Yeah.
beans.
Keep going.
but I was like,
Straight from Anna's country.
Okay, keep going.
but I was just like,
Oh, no,
yeah,
okay,
no,
breathe.
I was like, I realized, I'm so sorry. I realized what this looks like, but it didn't even occur to me. Like, this is actually just coffee. Like, you can smell it. Like if
So
this
did
is
they
a
bust it
problem,
open?
I was
Wait,
like,
wait, let her tell her story.
so I was like,
baby.
please, it was like, you can, because they're running it over with like a scanner. And they're like,
Yeah.
what? We don't know what this is. Why would you do this? And I'm sitting here like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't even think about it. I was like, let me call my parents and they can drive back and then mail me this because it was $80. And I'm
Okay,
not
now
about to have
I
it
need
thrown
you to
up.
say this in your white voice. though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll call my parents and then they'll come back. Like, please don't open it. But I promise. I was like, it didn't even occur to me. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
And then they bring
Mhm.
over they brought over like 2 whole different supervisors,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
everyone's
my.
just kind of standing around looking at this.
Yeah.
And I'm just
It take
again, I'm
about
like,
3 people to look at coffee
Yeah.
beans.
yeah, and I'm
Ain't
standing,
nobody language.
yeah, no, and I'm just doe eyes, like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then finally, thank God, they were really like understaffed, and they just
Mhm.
did not have time to deal with me. So the supervisors kind of
Not little blacks behind. I guarantee you.
listen.
It wouldn't have went down like that.
I'm No, and I'm saying, so like they zoom away, and the girl who was helping me primarily, she was black, and she looked at me, she was like, "Girl, don't do that again." And I was like, I know, I'm the stupidest person alive. I'm so sorry.
I know y'all. Please put something in the comments because I know y'all enjoyed this. Come on.
I kind of have a similar story.
I was leaning toward you because I know you have that gray area. That young life.
So for context, I am half Hispanic and I'm half white. I do not know any Spanish. I do not celebrate any like Mexican or Puerto Rican holidays. Or I grew up with my mother who's white and she was married to a white man. So I very much culturally American white, right?
Okay.
But
wait.
Mhm.
You say your mother's white and she's married to a white man.
Yeah.
What are
that was
my stepfather.
Okay.
My stepfather.
I was
Yeah.
trying to say
But even my
where did
father,
the Hispanic come in?
Daddy.
my birth father, who
She
also
didn't mention him.
She did. She went right past me.
Yeah,
And that tells
he
you
also doesn't know
I
Spanish.
pay attention. You
You
know,
do. You catch it well.
He's I believe he's second generation, so he also doesn't really know Spanish and stuff like that. So I was doomed from the start, right? But most people perceive me as Hispanic. They assume I can speak Spanish. My last name is Rivera, so that is something where I feel like I have the opposite effect as you, Jordan. You're very attached to the side that isn't white. You know what I'm saying? But you're perceived another way. I have that opposite. So
my name is very white though.
shockingly so. Yeah.
and the name plays a big part in it.
Yeah.
And so me and my mom flew to Mexico, and going to Mexico was fine. But when we came back, keep in mind, my mom's Caucasian. You made fun of her for her pasty legs. Not me roasting my mom again. Sorry, Mom.
Jen, I love you.
So we're flying back, and through every single line
They
of
thought she was
customs-
trying to steal you.
No, they thought they checked my bag in every single opportunity they had, but they let my mom slide.
Oh.
And I didn't really think too much of it, but my mom was annoyed. She was like, "They're doing that because of your name and how you look," because we were together. So it's like,
oh, you were older at that point.
I was like 18.
Oh, okay.
yeah. I was an
You
adult.
got to be doing
Oh,
something.
so this wasn't a recent trip you took to
No.
Europe.
This was a while ago, but
Okay.
I was an adult. And so on the way back from Mexico, they're checking my bags. They're like scanning they opened my suitcase and went through it, and all they did was like scan my mom. And so I think it's just kind of funny how you can kind of have the opposite effect too, where I couldn't lean into my white privilege because of the way that I look and because of my last name and because where I was coming from Mexico back to the States.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you can be very white yourself.
Oh, I am. I love me a pumpkin spice latte. And Target. Come on now.
Yeah.
Tarjay.
Okay, so Brother Carter, what do you mean when you say something like that about Abigail? Why would you say that?
No, it's the truth.
What?
She know how to lean into
Whatever she
privileged
needs.
whiteness when she needs
But
to.
I'll tell you right now, when I went to college, I made sure to say that I was Hispanic.
There
You know
go.
what I'm saying? So it goes both ways.
Where,
You can
where
use
did
your
you go to school at?
I actually went to a primarily Hispanic college, Texas State University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing all of that up because human nature, depending on your environment, and y'all just jump in here, and I'm not playing down and I'm not dismissing, and I don't want this to seem like we're making jokes over that, but people tend to, depending on the environment, until you really get to be comfortable with who you are, you do this thing. You kind of waving in and out of something to make other people comfortable at your
demise.
Yeah. So I do want us to really talk about when we are using that to our advantage. What are we saying to the one that hadn't quite figured out how to do that? What do you say? Let's think about the child that is biracial, that doesn't have the tools, nor have that mother or father giving them the tools to deal with it, but they're dealing with something that is so harsh. The parents want the best education for them, so they have them in an all, affluent, and I'm going to say affluent school district, and they're having to, because they want them to have success, but they don't know when that child goes into school every day what they're having to deal with. What advice could y'all give them?
They're going into,
what advice? And just tell me.
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, that's a tough one.
I know it's tough, but think about that child. So, you know, and even that parent that's trying to equip their kid. With
all you can do is probably speak on how you adjusted during that period. You know?
As a child.
Yeah. Well, I think like when you are in those spaces, right, and you don't have a frame of reference for somebody who looks like you, I think the best thing to do in that circumstance is to say like, hey, let's go out and even if it's not in your school, right? Let's find let's find other people who you can look to, like who are like you and who have succeeded, who have gone through this, right? Because if they're not going to find it in that environment, they need to at least know somebody has gone through this. Somebody else has experienced what I am going through.
Right.
And especially with children, they're like building up their identities, right? There's so many questions. Like that is adolescence, is like trying to figure out who you are, right? Where you belong. And if nobody looks like you and nobody is like having that similarity of culture as you, then it's like, okay, if it's not there, it is out there.
It is.
It may not be there in your school, but it's out there.
You know, I'm not going to jump in before I go to you. What would you give? And then I'm going to jump in because I have something personally to say.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I feel like I'm a really not the most appropriate person for this question, just because like
I love you guys so much. Oh my God. Because the honesty.
Well, it like, you know, it is what it is. Like, I don't even look biracial. Right. Like, I just look white. And so, like, I haven't had the experience even that other biracial kids go through. Just like, and so I don't, and coupled with the fact that my mom always says I came out of the womb with my personality intact. Like, I've always
been okay with you.
I've always known who I am. Like, I really have. And for what it's worth, you know, for bad or good, whatever. But like, I've never had to like fight through that. And like representation, visual representation, it was kind of like I saw myself all over the place. I mean, it was nice. It would be nice, like sometimes to see there's the occasional like Halsey. I don't know if you like. She's the so she's biracial and she looks white, and so that's very rare, obviously. And so when I see that, I'm like, oh, that's fun, like yay! But like, it's not like
something you look for.
It's or it's just not something that's like, you know, so desperately important because I never saw myself. Like I saw myself, you know,
the reason
you're just authentic.
You're okay with you.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason I'm bringing that because, you know, if you know anything about the Carters, we're a gumbo pot family. And so what's very important to us is our family and our grandkids. And, you know, our children really, talking about pushing us forward, they pushed us forward. And so one of the things, whether they are complete African-American, biracial with something else.
African,
it didn't matter. What we always
gay, whatever, crazy. We have it all. Just like everybody else.
Yeah. So what we've always instilled in our family is that we got your back, and you are important. And don't mask who you are to make someone else feel good because you are made perfect in your own image. So I'm looking into the camera, and for anyone that is listening to this, I didn't want to make light of this conversation because the whole reason, and Abigail and I were coming up in the team, we were coming up with this title in this conversation, is that we have to stop trying to put people in our box. You know, people are more than what you see on the outside. Get to know a person for who they are. When I walked in this room, they beat us here. And Brother Carter was holding me up. I was, But when I walked in the room, the energy was so here that probably if I would have just walked in and I wasn't feeling really good, I still would have went there because if you look at these two ladies, the energy, you look at these two ladies right here, they're okay in their skin. You know, they're beautiful. They are intelligent. They are vibrant. And I'm saying we're missing out so much people because we are judging people based off of our mind and our experience. open your mind, allow others in, and see how far we can go as a whole people.
Yeah.
So with that
I
being
like that. I like that, babe. That was a very serious moment. Now here come my bullshit. So I can see Molly. I'm sorry. I can see Molly that you can be misjudged as being an attorney. You're young.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
No.
You're young. You're beautiful, and I can see that people don't take you very serious until you start speaking.
then you're gonna tell it behind her.
Yeah, she know her stuff.
It's literally my whole life.
Am I correct in my assessment?
So right.
Yes.
So right.
So people see you and they're like, "Oh, she's just
Right?
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, she the intern? Is she the?"
Yeah.
Or what's that show that the what was that show? It was an attorney show. Oh, yeah, where the cute. She was real cute. And she was in law school.
Legally Blonde.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's my hero.
So literally,
I mean, the outfit. Hello.
I mean, like,
literally, so they would probably say,
What was her name?
Reese Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. Yeah.
So do you ever get that?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like that comparison.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And you
Yeah.
eat
That was like
there
me in law
behind-
school. all
Oh
the time.
my God, you ate
Yes.
them alive.
Yes. 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 But I love that though. Like
Yes.
sometimes being misjudged,
Yeah.
especially in that context, can
Right,
work in
right.
your favor
Yeah.
because you're underestimated.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? They're like, oh, here's this like
Underestimate me.
little
I
happy
look over there.
girl.
Oh yeah, this is easy
Right,
case
this
right
is an
here.
easy
I
case,
better
I'm
blow
gonna
by
wrap
this
it
case.
up, right?
Yeah.
Not even gonna worry. I'm like, oh no, we're actually gonna go to trial.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God.
But before we go to Q&A, I have one more thing. I have to do my bullshit with you.
Lay it on me.
So,
Right.
so you had the fortune, should I say?
Yeah.
Of
All the
of ha-
privilege.
no, and the privilege of having your mother being black.
Yes.
So there are a lot of them out there that their mother is white
Mm-hmm.
and they have a black father and their mother don't know how to do their hair.
That is something that does happen
Yeah.
a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
In my community. Yes.
Right, right. So how do you help your little brothers and sisters that mom just, I don't know what to do with this hair?
I mean, luckily, I never had to deal with that because if anything, my mom knew. I think the biggest struggle was just that I had a more sensitive head than she was used to. What I will say.
Yes.
But I think now, just to be serious for a second, just there's so many more resources for people, and there's YouTube tutorials and there's things that these white parents can do to really help their children out.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so if any of y'all are out there and you're
They're
struggling,
Yeah.
show your mom a YouTube video.
Do something. Yes.
Please do this to
Yes.
me.
Help me out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
Brother Carter.
and, I always say I'm talking bullshit, but I'll be talking serious stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Come to you,
Things
so.
that we've experienced.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. That was a real good one.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for the Q&A. This show is gone so fast because they made us start late. Because that first part was so good, we couldn't turn it off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This show's been awesome. I'm so
Yes.
I really enjoyed this conversation.
Oh, we didn't give y'all a chance to come in.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, y'all was
That's
just
okay.
there, but y'all come in like
I wedged myself in a little bit.
She
I'm
went,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Abigail.
Abigail.
Gonna she gonna get it in there.
My presence will be
And
felt.
I
Yeah.
have something to say.
I'm on the clock. Okay, go ahead.
Start with this comment from Ed B, who she
How do you know it's she?
because I saw she messaged us on Instagram.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, I'm investigating.
I would have never guessed with Ed there, but anywho.
She said it's also wild to just assume that all non-Black people in the room will align with anti-Black sentiments being said aloud.
Yes,
This isn't
it
a
is.
question. I just wanted to say
Yes,
that
Yeah.
yes.
based off of what Jordan had said
Yes,
earlier
so
in the
true.
show.
I love it.
And then
Thank you, Ed
Thank
B.
you, Ed B. You
And thank you for tuning into the Love and Victory Show with her.
and
We
then
have one more comment from John on YouTube. People always hate to share their problem with others, but there might be someone who can really understand what we are going through.
Wow. All right, John. We all are going through something.
yeah.
And if you have a conversation, you find that you have more in common
Mhm.
than not.
Yeah.
And it's so true. That's what the Love and Victory show is. Don't miss it.
Mhm.
You go get some healing.
Even kind of like what Molly said earlier about how, you want to try to find people who are like you. And, maybe you might not be able to find somebody who's like you, maybe racially, but, there's so many communities where you can find people who are like you and maybe they like the same things as you.
Yes.
Or you guys just really vibe, I
Yes.
think it is important to have people in your life who can represent you in the way that you look in your culture. But if that's not possible for everyone, you can find community in other places.
And I think what's really important, and I like that part there, but I also think that it's really important to get out of your comfort zone.
Mhm.
But be wise in your moving out of your comfort zone. Don't just attach yourself to anything and
Mhm.
everything because you need to feel something different.
Mhm.
There's so many elements out there that will make you feel something, but it's not necessarily a healthy feeling. So be careful in that. Give me another
We
comment.
got 2 more questions.
All right, Austin, excuse me. Austin is asking, did you ever feel bad after judging someone without knowing them? I did so many times and I still feel guilty about that.
Wow. I think go ahead.
No, I think that's a very human thing to do and to feel. And there's been so many times for myself that I'll judge someone and then almost immediately find out, something that, completely
Opposite.
Yeah.
Your perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'm immediately like, oh, you did it again.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, so many times. But again, it's human. It's human. And I think even the part of our brain that wants to compartmentalize and wants to make sense of the world, that's the thing that makes us jump to those judgments, right? It's hardwired into our brain
to categorize.
But the thing is, when that happens, it's how do you respond to that?
Yeah.
When you've made that judgment and you've shown your whole ass,
Showing your
right?
ass.
Showing your ass, how do you respond
to that?
Do
you can't sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I think is the worst mistake you can make is act like it didn't happen or you didn't do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because what you've done is dismissed how you've offended the other person. I think in real time, and even if you can't deal with it in real time, you must circle back.
Yeah, you have to take accountability.
Yeah. I feel like that's been something I've tried to do my whole life. I really make an intention if I've said something or done something offensive to someone, and if it was based off of a judgment,
Yes.
I will force myself to then go back in person, apologize for it.
Yes.
Because
because you're walking around in shame and avoiding something and avoiding the person and creating a worse situation than it needs to be.
Yeah.
right.
Because you didn't do it intentionally. It was an accident.
Mhm.
So go back on that.
Yeah, and I think it's a good practice to have because people really they appreciate it.
Right.
And I think if people see it modeled, they're more likely, and I'm not saying,
Yes.
but I think if people see it modeled, then they're more likely to do the same thing. And then I think that just makes, everybody communicate better and just,
Yeah.
interact better.
Yeah.
I think that's so true. I want to end with the last comment. And if it's on Facebook and it's from Solomon, can we read that? I think it's just
Yes.
awesome.
Solomon is saying, growing up as a closeted blurred, it was hard to be able to have interests that were not designated to that race. Today, not as much. Did you have that issue growing up?
Oh gosh.
Can we? I want to know what a blur.
I really wanted to say blended.
It's a black nerd.
Oh.
Say what you.
Okay, so now that
Spoken from the biracial folks.
Now they corrected us. Read that again.
Okay.
For the other, and take your time because I really
What was
want
it again? Black nerd.
Okay.
Okay.
Read the
It
entire-
said growing up as a closet black nerd.
Uh-huh. It was hard to be able to have interest. All the way
No, do not let Brother Carter give you his
Okay.
Okay.
his
Read
version.
it exactly like Simon gave it.
Okay, growing up as a closeted black nerd, it was hard to be able to have interests that were not designated to that race. Today, not as much. Did you have that issue growing up?
Wow.
Yeah. So again, me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not.
Okay.
But I have a lot of friends who are black and faced that. There's a preconceived notion that certain interests, and this is coming from even within the black community,
Yeah.
there are certain things that if that's a white thing,
Yes.
that's why do you listen to this kind of music?
Yeah.
Like, why are you into this kind of thing? That's not something we do. That's not for us. Like, you want to be what you're trying to be with. That's happened. Like people would say that to my mom, like my friends. So like, it's definitely something a lot of people experience. And I think like nowadays it's a little bit better. Like because of how
the conversation.
And social media, and people are able to see, they're exposed to so much more.
Yes.
Like people are able to be like, oh, okay,
who they are.
Yeah, like I see like, someone else is doing this, and so it's not just me. And so I'm gonna feel comfortable now moving forward, being like proudly,
who I am,
a Black nerd or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, I'll say if Megan Thee Stallion is hosting the anime awards,
Queen Blurred,
right?
Absolutely,
she's the queen.
Yeah.
Yes,
she's rapping about anime, like.
Yeah. So there you go, right there.
She is unafraid, like
the new era.
She is. And I love it. That was actually a great way to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God. Go ahead. Final thoughts.
Yeah.
And Brother Carter,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save you for last.
Yeah, say pull up in your Bible over there.
Okay. Am I supposed to have a Bible with me?
In your Bible.
Okay.
Pull up in your Bible, James chapter 4, verse 5.
Okay. And while she's pulling that up, we're gonna go around and we're gonna do a closing on your thoughts of the show, your experience on the show, and what you want to leave the people with. I believe Abigail has it, and then we're gonna let her do that, and then we're gonna go with our final thoughts.
Oh, okay. You're ready for it.
You're ready for it.
No. That's for last.
My final thoughts first.
Oh,
yes.
Your final thoughts.
Yeah, that's for last.
No, and she can never go and say her final thoughts.
No, I was saying
This
what I gave her is for last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna start with our guest,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna start with
Jordan. I'm sorry. I had to see you squirm just like a little bit.
Baby, he got my back.
See,
your
like,
final thoughts.
William, take note. Like,
Exactly.
There you go, William. Come on, Jordan. Leave us with your final thoughts on the show.
Well, I just
And what you want to leave the people with.
the people. No, I thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun. Like the energy was so great, but you guys were so, open and facilitated such a wonderful environment. And it was just so fun. And it's always so fun to spend time with Molly.
Yeah.
And Abby too, obviously.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't forget about me.
I would never. But yeah, I just think, some final thoughts regarding the topic, just like, I would just take a second to consider what someone might be going through, what they might be like, just, kind of like second think what you're
Getting ready to say.
Yeah. You never know. You literally never know what someone else is going through. You never know like what they even racially might be made of. Like just approach people with kindness and respect and you'll go really far.
Love it.
Facts.
100% facts. And
Molly?
Thank you.
right? Again, you got you. Likewise, I'm so thankful that you guys had us on today. The energy, as you've been saying, Val, it's just been like so wonderful. I'm not a morning person.
Oh,
So the fact that I've been like engaged and this 2 hours has flown by, I'm like, it's the energy. It's the energy and the welcome that you guys provide and bring. For the viewers on the topic, I want to kind of like bring it back to the assumption becoming reality, right? If you see someone, you're making assumptions about who they are based on what they are looking, what they look like, that becomes your reality of that person.
wow.
Right? So if you strip away those assumptions and let them describe who they are, like you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. And it lets, like, rather than you defining for that person who they are, let them define it for them.
Come on now.
And then you can rock with that, right?
Bam. You heard what she said. Anna?
Well, I say that again, remember, judging is coming from your ego. So don't be a judgeful person, because then that just means you're ugly inside. Facts. I personally love being the way that I am because nobody really assumes I'm Hispanic, So I say remember exactly that there's more to it. There's more to what people are going through, because a smile doesn't mean they're smiling inside. And just be kind. Just be kind-hearted. Be open-hearted, because that's the best way to be. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And
One of my favorite sayings is, if you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say.
well, that's your final thoughts. But before we have
Yes.
you get to Brother Carter,
Mhm.
topic, I need you to go ahead and tell them.
Okay, and I use the Google Bible, so don't yell at me.
Okay.
It's
Google, I like Google. Google tell the truth sometimes.
sometimes when she wants to, you know. So you asked for James chapter 4, verse 5. You adults.
No, wait.
Now, I want you, that was your final thought. I want you to tell them how they can find us, watch.
Oh, my
Oh,
bad. Yeah. You guys can find us on all platforms at LV with Val, LVWITHVAL, all platforms. Also download the LV with Val app. We are in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. We have music for you guys 24/7 on our radio. So tune in on the app or on our website, LV with Val. Everything.
Everything.
Just Google LV with Val. You'll find it all.
You'll find it. You'll find
Everything is with Val.
Yep.
And
LV with Val.
LV with Val. And I thank you guys so much. I love to end the show. Yes, I am the host, but I love to end the show with my co-host, Brother Carter. He keeps it just how it needs to be. He wraps it up and he makes everything be in perspective. I want to say to you guys, thank you so much. I hope that you've walked away with something that changed your life, changed your perspective, and know that everything is not always about you. But you personally can impact someone else's life. So let your impact be something positive.
Amen.
Facts.
And on the Love and Victory show, although we do kid a lot and play a lot, we don't want to make light of what your life is going through, where you are, particularly you two on the show today. Y'all done a good job today.
Excellent.
Just opening up yourself, being what's the word? Vulnerable and authentic.
Yes.
And transparent. Yeah, that word right there. Yeah. And so we're so grateful to have you on the show. And I want to say, although we've been, laugh a lot on the show, it's a very serious thing that we do here. And we hoped, should I say, that we leave our listeners with something that they can stand on and live by at the end of the day. Okay. And so having said that, I've asked Abigail to pull up the book of James 4th chapter 5th verse, and it reads.
Hopefully this is the right version. If you make yourself a friend of the world, you make yourself an enemy of God.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Is that right?
But my Bible say judge.
Okay.
So
Okay.
There you go.
So let's be careful not to be so judgmental of other people in our lives, because like I said at the beginning of the show, we tend to be judgmental versus uplifting other people, should I say, in other lives. So be your authentic self, should I say. At the end of the day, if you're black, white, Hispanic, Indian, whatever the case may, Asian, I don't want to miss none of your acronyms. So whatever the case may be, just be who you are. The best of your ability at all times and in all corners of the world.
Yes.
All corners of the world. Amen.
Amen. And
Amen.
love you until next Saturday. Are we here next Saturday?
We are not here next
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah, y'all.
for
Hold on.
Easter.
We won't be live,
But happy Easter.
but happy Easter.
We'll have a rerun for
We'll have a
you.
rerun.
Be sure and tune in.
But
Go to
tune in.
church.
Go to church.
It's gonna be some
Spend
good
some
stuff there.
time.
Yeah.
If your mother is still here,
Yeah.
please love on her. Share with her.
Your daddy too.
If Father's Day is not here till June, but
Today
anyway.
is Mother's Day is Easter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mother and father. All right. All righty, then. Until next time, we love
All
you
right,
guys.
we love y'all. Thank you.